I am pretty well known with my friends for being the art guy since like a young age. To be fair, even at that age, I always just scribble stick figures on the back of my school books and get yelled by my parents. It would be kind of cool to share my past 10 years of art because it has such a weird growth and went through multiple phases. And maybe a lot of you can just watch and see if it relates. This is one of my oldest full body drawings of Stephen Curry. Anyways, when I was 9 or 10, I started drawing graffiti. It was very cool in my mind that I can shape letters and words into these cool things, and a lot of my friends thought it was cool as well. Any group presentation where we would display something on cardboard, I would be the one drawing the heading. And it got to the point that I volunteered to draw stuff for others as well. Even after all of this, I never really enjoyed art as a subject. I felt weirdly cut off from the stuff I really wanted to do. A lot of teachers said that graffiti was like gang art or like bad or whatever. No, it wasn't. I enjoyed it and I wanted to do more. I loved PewDiePie at that age, and I still do. I drew a lot of things surrounding him, and it was so cool when I found these new types of art, which I didn't even plan on doing. I'm a very no plan, just do type guy and see where it goes. Shortly after that, I got into doodling with a friend of mine. I was 12 or 13 when I made my own characters. Some of them were inspired by things that I know of. The most famous one was Gloomy. I drew him as a child and then I drew him as a grown up. After that, I created Mushy, the little mushroom. Alongside all of these drawings, I drew small characters like Swag Sheep. Some are well known, like Toothless and Hiccup, Spider Man, and PewDiePie. At the end, I drew my little family to see the whole picture. Gloomy ended up getting married to another character, Baby Fluid, and they had a kid named Baby Gloomy. Yeah, it was cute at that time, and maybe it still is. Mushy found his own gang, Meet Whistle and Hashtag Sub. It's all surrounded by other things that I liked, but it wasn't created by me though. At 14 to 15 years old, I got into more characters, like Avatar Aang and 2D from Gorillaz. I even drew PewDiePie's entire Minecraft series, with all the characters that he had. During this time, it was COVID, and I was watching anime. I drew the first animes that I watched, which was Bungo Stray Dogs, Death Note, and Attack on Titan. By this time, I can tell that I was getting better at actually copying a picture and putting it onto my book. I was oddly surprised by this idea because I dropped art in school and I never went through with it, and I did physical education instead. But I ended up self teaching myself and finding out things that I never thought I could have done. A friend of mine at this time drew me a self portrait of myself, and she gave me a little reason to try drawing more realistically. Instead of doodling, I started drawing small faces here and there, and I tried to practice these face features and I tried to get muscle memory from it. I was watching a Run BTS episode where Jungkook was drawing a painting, and I tried to recreate it. I didn't plan this, but I randomly put hand sanitizer on it to see where it goes, and it ended up having a very cool result. I really thought I did create some new style, and I tried drawing the rest, but I had like 10 tries to draw Jimin and V next. But I ended up with something I like. When I drew Jungkook, I just thought of changing my order, and I ended up with this in the first try. As my favorite colors are red and black, this is still by far the best mixture I have ever created. Days later, I started with pencil art and all kinds of shading using my finger or Q-tips to rub it. I started drawing all the characters from the shows and movies I was watching at the moment, using the pencil shades to add a realistic effect. It was clear to say that I was improving in a very fast rate, which I didn't expect. But this was also when I was 15 to 16 during COVID, and I had nothing better to do. My cartoon characters were getting too similar. I can draw them very clearly and it looks perfect. A few months in, I have mastered to draw any 2D character with no issue. I spilled all my favorite characters on this book, and it came out looking amazing. I made a couple of weird ones along the way just for fun. My characters started looking like real people. At that time, I never noticed that, but looking back, I can clearly see a huge difference between what a 2D character looks like and what I was drawing. Took me a while to realize it, but I started drawing actual people. I started off small, and with a few tries in, it looks amazing. Shocked me that I can actually draw real people. I added my own touches to it, and it worked out just fine. I started off with the BTS members. V was my first one, and until now, I can't believe that my first ever try came out this perfect. This has to be one of my favorites, or maybe my favorite in general. I tried drawing J Hope and RM next, and clearly luck runs out. I needed more practice on how I should handle face features and placements, even though I knew how to draw them. Jungkook came out amazing as well. Not as amazing as V though, but I'm proud of it. Michael Jackson became one of my favorites out of the blue. I remember drawing this, and in my mind, I was thinking, wow, I clearly messed up. But it's always how you take a step back and look at the full picture when the journey is done. Johnny Depp came out alright. It's clear to say that I'm not consistent, but I realize that I can still do it. And now I start my next book. I started off with the practice of face features and placements, where the eyes should be and how a mouth should look like. Even though I knew how to draw a mouth, it didn't mean that I know where to draw the mouth. Faces from different angles looking at different directions. I was just curious on how to imagine where something should be before drawing it. And it came out smoothly. Different kinds of eyes, noses, and mouths, a couple of them being celebrities. This was also when I was 17 to 18 era, and my pencil art has come a long way in the past 1 year and a half. I had a couple of mistakes along the way, which I'm willing to show, because as much as I talked about luck and getting stuff done in the first try, it wasn't always like that. And sometimes you actually gotta go through bad drawings and be disappointed about it. It goes with what PewDiePie said in his video, where progress is never a straight line. It is the same thing here, and I keep these drawings to remind myself when I start doing something new. For my birthday, my sister gave me an art book, which I used to draw the rest of the BTS members. I started with Jin, which came out amazing. I loved his eyes in this one, and his hair. I drew Suga next. The right eye came a little off, but the hair came out well. Jimin did come out a bit odd. I notice more when I see the full result, because I stare at it for a very long time after I'm done. I drew Deku for fun, and I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up. I also started drawing the girls I had a crush on, with their permission, and I did show it to them afterwards and asked them out. Sadly, it was a rejection, but the drawings came out amazing. This one is also one of my favorites. It's nice to see a glow up from where I started to where I am at now. A lot of my art is posted on my art account, which I will be putting on this video. Honestly, my art is the easiest way to get to know me, because everything I watch and love is included, including drawing itself. I drew my mom and my cat. I count it as one of my favorites because I love it so much. I got into graphic designing where I draw on my laptop. I started over 3 years ago, but it didn't go nowhere. I re-downloaded Clip Art Studio and went off with it. A friend of mine's birthday just passed by, and I drew her a picture of her and her cat, and it came out beautifully. I drew a girl, and I just went off with no plan, and she came out amazing. And that's where I am at now. I am at uni doing studio art, where I actually learn how to draw and paint. I personally don't think I ever learned much in school because I didn't like art growing up, and I dropped art in year 11 when I was 14 years old. And getting back into it and going through it was an amazing journey. I believe that drawing is a skill that everyone has, it just comes with practice and time. And with my progress that took 10 years, some can get it with less, and others can get it with more. The point being is that it can get there regardless. And it's a very cool talent to have, to just show that you can apply your imagination to a piece of paper. I had my ups and downs with art, where I disliked it, I hated it, I dropped it, and I restarted it. But all of them led me here, and I won't change my skill. I will just only get better from here. I hope this video inspired a lot of you. It was very fun making this. Thank you. Bye.